Here it is, guys, my homeschool planner I promised I'd share. It's in a Google document and you can save it so that you can edit it. To do that, you just go up to File, make a copy, entire presentation. Then you can rename it. Once you've done that, you can edit it. The first thing you're going to want to do is go to slide 2 and change the name. If you have a name for your homeschool or if you just want to use your last name, that's what I would do. And then you would print basically through page 44 if you're printing. It has all the vision planning for both parents and children's. If you have more than one child, you may want to print multiple copies of the children's view planning pages. Then you have the planning of the year, all of your curriculum choices for each subject area. Once you have printed all of that, you can actually print for each of your children a year at a glance. Again, you might want to make multiple copies of this particular page. Then you move on to planning the months. I've included a little vision and reflection for each month, just a couple of quick questions to help you get through the month. So your goal for the month, an encouraging word or prayer for the month, and then at the end of the month to answer these 2 reflection questions. What was hard and what can you celebrate? It really helps to be able to do this and then look back on your year and see the ebbs and flows, because we all know our journey is not linear. So we have one of those for all the months. I start with July and I go through June. So you have a reflection page and calendar for each of those. Then you go on to planning the weeks. I have a couple different options under planning the week, so you need to decide which one is best for you. The first weekly plan I have here is one where you have the week and then you write your events at the top, and then you can put your subject areas that you are studying, or you can put your children's names. It's up to you. You also have a weekly overview to just put down top of priorities, events, books you'll need. I normally do this the Friday night before the next week, or sometimes that Saturday morning. So that way I know anything I need to gather, pick up at the store, and plan for in my upcoming week. Here's another sample of a weekly plan. If you want a 2-page layout, you have this right here. When you're copying them, you would make sure that you're copying one side on the back side, so the first one on the back side, and then this on a front side of a new piece of paper. You're probably gonna have to practice it once or twice, but then it would lay in a binder and open wide if you want it that way. So you would put your subjects, and then go from there. If you are a time person, then maybe you just need to write down, oh, we have morning time around these hours and so on and so forth. I do have a timetable for you. I also have individual checklists. So as many of you know, I do morning bins for my children. And so I use these checklists to write down whatever they need to do. So normally along the side here, I might fill it out, for instance, and say, typing, and then speaking of typing, I can't type well, then they will check off the days that they do it, or piano, or read a chapter, whatever it is. You can write, either type or handwrite in those spots and have them check it off. I print those new each week and I tailor them to each child. So again, this is a page you might need to make multiple copies and edits to, depending on what you want. Then you have your homeschool rhythm. This is really important to really think about at the beginning of the year and then reassess probably midway through. I gave a couple options for this. The first one is just your rhythm in the morning. I include lunch and snack because, homeschool life, it kind of revolves around food some days. And then any chores and goals and quiet time. All of my kids, no matter their ages, have quiet time each day, unless we're out of the house. And then here's a second option without snacks, but it kind of goes through the evening to lay out your homeschool rhythm. We don't always have to have a ton of logs here in Virginia, but other states do. So here are my homeschool logs. Any websites and apps and passwords you might use for you and your children. Family read aloud log. You can type right in these once you download it if you want to record digitally, okay? And then you can always right-click and duplicate it if you need to make more than one slide. Otherwise, you can print and fill it out. Audiobook log. That's always a great one. You can print those for your individual children as well, if that helps. Educational video log. You don't have to track these things. If you're OCD and you like to track them like me, go for it. And then a reading log 4, and this can be for individual children. You could decide if you want to keep it or if you want to print them for your child. Same for field trips, extracurricular activities. We don't have to track attendance here in Virginia, but I know some parents just like to do it, and I know other states require it. And then homeschool expenses, how much are we spending and what are we spending it on? Grades I included in here. Most of us don't keep grades, but a few of us do, or maybe you do for a particular subject, so I did want to include a sheet for you to make copies of. I also did a 180 lesson checkbox. I know a lot of people do things like daily grammar or a reading program or maybe in a math program, and so you could just X off the days as you go along for whatever curriculum you're using and make multiple copies. And then, of course, a notes page. So I print all of this and I put it in a binder because that is how I function, but it's really up to you how you want to set it up. Once you edit it and print it, you can always go back and edit it again. It's yours now to use. It is copyrighted, so please don't steal any of my work here, but you can share the link that I emailed you with friends. Enjoy!